Hi, Paradoxvoid, it's Neo here. I'm gonna VOD review one of the codes you sent. This is the first one you sent on Route 66, obviously. And I've watched about the first 5 minutes, and I will say, generally, I think your beam usage and your awareness is not bronze. It is not bronze. There is some positioning things I think you do, and there's some mercy tech I don't think you utilize that makes you seem more bronze, but in terms of like, are you beaming the correct targets and are you aware of where your teammates are, you're quite good at that. So let's start this off. I like damage boosting the Junkrat at the beginning, so when I talk about mercy, I always like to stop and think about our composition. So we are running as a healer comp Mercy Baptiste, which means Baptiste is going to be mostly the tank healer. You are mostly the DPS healer because he has burst healing. It's much easier for him to hit the tank. It's much easier for you to heal the DPS. So generally that means we can avoid being with the tank quite often. And then also we have two really good damage boost targets. We have Junkrat and Soldier. I will say generally Soldier is the better damage boost target here, but I do like damage boosting the Junk at the very beginning because for the enemies on this map it is a little bit tighter. It's nice for him to get immediate pick damage. But if I were you, I would try and be with the Soldier as much as possible, because his shots will just be more consistent than the Junkrats, especially on this map. So right here, we already have the audio cue that there's a Pharah, and the best way to counter Pharah is with a hit scan. So we want to, as soon as I hear the Pharah and the Junk has taken a few shots, I'm like, okay, I want to go to the Soldier because the only way this Pharah is going to die is if I damage boost the Soldier. The Junkrat's not going to hit them. So the first 2 shots I hear from Pharah, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to the Soldier. I like you trying to stay high ground up here. And then right here, especially when we switch to the Soldier, although this is some nice heals you're getting. So right here, this is what I partially mean by positioning. This is fine, I like here. But then right here, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. And then you're still quite vulnerable for a while, and then right here, you're also vulnerable. So what we could do is we're chilling right here, damage boosting the Junkrat, and the enemies cannot see us. So when the Junkrat decides to fall that way, we shouldn't follow him. We should just go this way. And then we can attach our beam right here, and then we can stay right here, and we don't necessarily even have to move if we just stay right here. And I want to be beaming the Soldier, but it's fine because we need to heal the Junkrat because he's taking some damage from Pharah here. Although the Baptiste can do it because we also know he's right here. So I would just try and focus on damage boosting the Soldier while trying to stay out of the field of view of the enemies. Kobe mentions this if you see it a lot. Mercy is the only hero where you really benefit from the enemies not being on your screen. So the less you can see the enemies, the less the enemies can see you. So I would just chill right here, trying to make yourself almost as small as possible and damage boost the Soldier, and then you can try and start kiting when it gets better. So I will say, unfortunately, this is bronze, so your whole team is playing main low ground. At higher elos, where the Soldier really should be up here, and then it's easier for you to damage boost him here, and you'll be standing back here. But for this low elo, it's fine if you're right here just damage boosting him. Just try and avoid the enemies being on your screen, because that means that you are not on their screen. So this is a very vulnerable position, and we do take some damage for it. Not a lot. Yes, a lot. So if we were standing right over here, we wouldn't have that problem. You do switch to the damage boosted Soldier, that's unfortunate. So this is kind of a rough situation. It's very possible for us to maybe get this res off. I know this is very bold, and at higher elos I wouldn't tell you to do this, but this is bronze. If you have fast reactions, you can get away with a lot more than you think you can. So I partially say this because, your Sigma is not very good. You can, oh my gosh. Okay. Part of the reason I say this is because the Sig is sucking right here, so if you go really fast, you can get it off. And it's going to be kind of hard for them to focus you down. We have a little bit of time from cart cover. You can try and be closer to this wall. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but honestly, this fight is lost if you... This fight is lost if you die. This fight is lost if you don't do it. So, you kind of... It's kind of like a make or break moment. And if you do it really fast, I think you're fine. So it has to be like right here, and he'd be rezzed by now. And then you can try and heal him out as he gets to a better position. So also right now, We don't need to focus on the tank because our BAP is looking at the tank, so I want us to go up here where the Junkrat is and start damage boosting him. Sigma is very good damage. It's not very consistent, but junk damage isn't always consistent either. So I do like the damage boost here, but now we're in a much more vulnerable position because the enemies can see us on their screen, and we can see them. So we have a few options. We could fly to the Sigma this way, and then super jump up, so we can go this way. We can try and have the junk peek us, or we could super jump to the BAP here, and then go up this way, and then we can boost the junk, and we're right here, and they can't see us, and we can get some damage boost done. So those are what I'd be doing here, because we want to get... Our real goal is to make sure we are beaming someone efficiently while the enemies can't see us. So now that the soldier's dead, I want us to go to the junk. Because the BAP can heal this damage. I like that you're damage boosting him even when he's a little bit low. That's very good. And then we do get there eventually, but we could have been there a lot sooner. And now we've taken a lot of damage. See if BAP will heal us. Of course he won't. I like this. Nice try. And now we just need to get out as fast as possible. So another thing we could do is while we're getting pushed here, probably be right about here. We could try and fly to the Junkrat, especially as this immortality is up. Let's fly to the Junkrat and use that momentum to go up with our super jump and then land over here. Because now we can start damage boosting the soldier and we're out of the fisting... We're out of the punching range of the ram. I'm gonna pretend I didn't say that. Yeah, so that's what I would do here, is because we want to try and get up, because being low ground against a ram is going to be very hard for us. I don't know, I wasn't aware that the soldier had already come back, so I think that you wouldn't either, but ideally, even when I see this and I get scared and I don't know that he's back there, this is what I would do. I'd fly up, I'd go up this way and try and land up here, and then when I saw the soldier, I'd start damage boosting him. If you knew the soldier was there for any reason, you can just fly to him immediately, especially because he's used his pulling down field as well. Ravenous Vortex. I like the healing on the junk. Unfortunately, our soldier dropped. I like the damage boost here as well. But then again, so this, I think we would have been dove if we're about to do the thing I'm just saying, but I think it's still good practice, so I'm going to talk about it. So when we are here, we could again try and fly to the Junkrat and then go up this way. It's possible that Genji chases us. This is already kind of a lost fight because our Sigma's dead, everybody's half health, but then we could go this way and try and meet our team on this side. Just going into a small tunnel is very rough, especially against most of their team comp, necessarily all of them, but when there are monsters right there, it's like extra scary. So even if you lose uptime but getting out, you might be able to survive and meet your team on the other side. So like right here I would work on going up, especially now that BAP's dead. And then go up. Yeah. So I should have maybe talked about it at the beginning, but we're going to talk about Mercy controls. So when I first started playing Mercy in Overwatch 2, I watched a SKZ video about Mercy controls and Mercy movement. It is a little outdated because of the nerfs to Guardian Angel. But it still has a bunch of relevant things, and I do really like her controls, except for I play with one thing differently than she does. So I have toggle beam connection on. This means that I only need to click my mouse once, and I don't have to hold down, and then if I switch, it'll keep going, and then I don't have to worry about holding it on a specific target. I have Guardian Angel Tiger priority to prefer facing target, and I have my toggle Guardian Angel off. So this means I continually hold shift for the amount of time I want Guardian Angel, and then I use a mouse key for crouch, so that way I don't have to worry about hitting left shift and crouch really close to each other. I have a mouse key to do that for me. And I highly suggest you switch to something similar to these controls. It doesn't have to be exactly, but I would say if anything, if you're going to take anything, definitely do prefer facing target, and definitely do crouch on an additional key other than control, preferably a mouse key. And then I think in order of importance, that one's the most important. The next one is toggle beam, and the last one is toggle Guardian Angel. It was a little bit more relevant before the nerf, but because of the nerf, I think you can get away without it. It's just there was a very specific thing that helped you stay in the air longer. But like I said, it was kind of nerfed, so give me 1 second. Okay. So let us continue. We need to die here or get out. Those are our two options. Our Sig's here, so maybe we can get out. But honestly, as a team, we all need to group. In a higher elo, we would have died there. It wouldn't have been the worst thing. So I don't think we can get a recontest here. Yeah, we're just really split as a team. It's gonna be hard. I like this, but our Sig's just gonna die because and it's fine, we get this ult out. So this was a lost fight going into it because it was like a 2v5. And we can maybe get out here. This is all good. Switch to damage boost, very nice. This is what I mean by your beams are pretty good. Like you could have switched to damage boost a little bit sooner there, but it's honestly not that far off. And could you have healed him soon enough? You could see the shots going past you. Yeah, you could have maybe healed him, but it was a very not much. This is fine. We can see our Sig's up there, so I'd fly up to him. He drops, so this is all fine. So we're just trying to, as a team, we need to regroup. So like our junk being in is really bad, so you can try and help him. So when I mean that, this is also, you could try and help him even sooner than that. By flying to the Sigma here, and then using your super jump to jump up, and then you can heal the Junkrat without having him peek you. Because there's this moment of frustration where, oh my gosh, he's not gonna peek me. And then he luckily does. But he could have stayed on the high ground there if we used our tech to get up to him. So we want to damage boost probably Baptiste here. When we damage boost junk in that tire form, it doesn't do any extra damage. And now we see Soldier up to our top right, so we want to switch to helping him. I like this. Yeah, if we helped him a little bit sooner, he might not have been in this position, but it's fine. And now we need to get back to our team, which is all fine. This is all good. This is all fine. We want to go back to Soldier, damage boost him. Yeah, we want to try and damage boost a little bit more in Valk. So once my team is like, we see people are critical, we heal, damage boost here. They have Immort out, our BAP is alive, our Sig is past half health, we can just damage boost. We want to go and try and damage boost the visor. It doesn't mind. We don't care if Sig dies here. Because we want to try and be with the Soldier. So the Baptiste can deal with the healing of the Sig and possibly the junk in this situation, but the Soldier is going to be much harder for him to get to, and he gets a lot more value from your blue beam. So we see the Soldier again. We want to go up to him. Yeah, you want to. I see it. So we can get to him even without him peeking us. We don't necessarily need the person we are trying to get to peek us. So there's a few things we can do, because I see when I get to him, like right about here. So what you can do is you can fly to the junk and you can super jump up, or you can fly to him and so you can GA all the way over here, and then if you just look and hit space and go up here, we can be with him again. Because I see that's what you want to do. So you just have to, it's kind of like geometry. It's like, oh, okay, he's not going to get to me, but if I go that way and then that way, that should be enough. Try and damage boost. If the Immort is out, you can generally get away with some, like once the Sig is here, you can damage boost. If he doesn't stay critical anymore on a tank, you can start damage boosting. And generally, honestly, you are pretty good about that with DPS. With the tank, you're just a little bit clingy. Just a little. So we want to try and get in a little bit of a safer position here, while still damage boosting the Soldier. Because we're just, there's a chance that, like, let's say the Pharah peeks us from up top, and then look, you and Baptiste will get hit by a rocket at the same time, on the off chance she does. So just in a safer position, like possibly, if you're damage boosting the Soldier, you could be right here, and then that way you could fly out this way. So that's what I might do, because he's going to need a lot of help getting out if he does. You could also just chill behind the cart here. This is a little bit of a dangerous position because they can come through here, but you could be behind this pillar. It's just kind of unfortunate because the Soldier's up here, so I would probably be right here. And then if I get pressured, I'd fly to Baptiste, and then you slingshot all the way over here. But we really want to try and be with the soldier as much as possible in this composition. Oh, heal bap? Yeah. I would pop Valkyrie right here, especially against the beat. Yes, so the reason I say we want to pop Valkyrie right here is because when we see the beat, our team is now at a disadvantage. We did get a pick, but the beat kind of puts them at a very, very high health pool, and we are getting pressured a little bit. So we have 3 people who are near half health. So if we Valk, we left click for like less than half a second, and then we right click, the amount of damage that we can inflict will almost negate beat. Possibly. So that's what I'm thinking when I'm like, oh, I want to Valk here, because they are pushing, they're aggressing really, really hard into us. And so we can kind of use Valkyrie in a defensive way in this sense of like healing everybody up very fast. And then we are aggressive because we have 30% more damage than they do. It doesn't matter how much health they have because it's rapidly depleting, and it'll deplete even more because we're damage boosting our team. So everyone's full health here. I like the Valk, and then we need to reconnect faster. Even if you connect to the Sig, you don't necessarily need to connect to the person who is low because it is Valkyrie. So reconnect to Sig as fast as possible here. It's possible we could have saved the BAP. This is all fine, we just need to get our Sig out, so we should try and be hitting S as hard as possible. This is fine. This is fine. I like how much you're like utilizing max beam range here. Okay, this is a little scary. So when we're right here, I would honestly try and stay on this platform and then connect the beam to the Sig right here. And then that way we don't have to worry about when we drop here, the Ramatra could also try and hit us. But if we connect the beam to the Sig and we're standing right here, then we can fly out later. This is fine, just connected the beam a little late there. Now we need damage boost again because he's past half health. We need to look behind us and try and get out. This is all fine. And our team is winning, so we're chill. So, especially against a Ramatra, we want to try and utilize more and more high grounds. Because it's much harder for him to hit us if we're standing on a high ground than it is if we're standing at the low ground, especially behind one of our teammates. So, again, in this position, I want us to be like top here, or we could be top here because I want us to be with the soldier if possible. I don't mind the junk, especially because now we're in an enclosed area and junk thrives in enclosed areas. So now it's like kind of default mode would be either with the junk or with the soldier. I do like kind of being with the junk here, but if you are, I would try and be up here. Or we could be up here. Up to the top right is a little bit more vulnerable because they could be looking at you, the enemies, but if you're top right here, then they have to turn this corner before they could even shoot you. So I kind of like standing up top left, specifically right here. Oh, okay. Right here, because if somebody chooses to come through this doorway, which Farah is choosing to, and you're standing right here, she can see you and shoot you. But if you're back here, she can't see you, and you can still connect to the junk, and it's possible you see her, and you could try and fly out to the Baptiste and out this way or something along those lines. So I would generally try and be on this high ground because of the Ramatra, and mostly because of the Ramatra. So that way you're not just behind a teammate on main. This is fine backing up. This is lost. You just need to die. There's like not much you can do. Yeah, so we need to die here because there's a chance we just get staggered, and that will be more detrimental to our team. It looks like you get out, so it's fine. Do not res. Okay, good. There haven't been very many good resurrect opportunities for you in this team. I don't mind that. It's a pretty good ult. We need to damage boost as much as possible though. That's fine. Damage boost though. Damage boost, yes, very good rating. I think your Valk was a little early. We could probably res the junk if the sig's not too low. We need to help our BAP. Yeah, we need to help the BAP right here. So we have a top-down view, and we're on the BAP, and then we see the Ramattra turn to the BAP. We just need to keep healing him. If the BAP can try and heal our other teammates, it's much harder for the BAP to heal himself. I will say, even if you went to the BAP there, this fight would have still been lost. Ramattra ult is very strong. The Junkrat dying early was very bad. Even Valking too early, even if you Valked later, it still probably wouldn't be enough because they are putting a lot of pressure on your team and damage-wise. So, there's not much you could do in that fight. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So now we have I'm looking at our comp. We have Monkey. Oh, our heal comp is Ana, Mercy. So generally, the Ana is going to have an easier time healing the tank than you will because she can nade and heal up the tank really quickly. She can heal the tank from a further distance than you can. All those things. And now our DPS comp is Soldier Pharah. Default mode should be with the Pharah. You have much more mobility in the air than if you were with the Soldier, and the damage is boosting her splash damage if she's not hitting direct shots is very detrimental to the enemy team. So it's much harder for them to kill you, and it's much easier for you to kill them if you're with the Pharah, obviously. I mean, it's called Pharmacy for a reason. So just trying to stay and damage boost the Pharah. So you can like really, really hard pocket a Pharah here. This is all fine. Now stay with the Pharah. Keep looking at her, keep damage boosting her. None of this, you do not need to leave her side. This is okay, but I really want us with the Pharah. I don't even want that little healing. I just want us to be with the Pharah. Yes. So I like staying closer to this left wall because it's harder for them to see you. I like a little bit helping the Winston here, but then go back to the Pharah right about now. We can hear her behind us to the top left. So this is fine. He dies. The monkey's kind of lost at this point. He needs to fall back, but I really just want us on this Pharah as much as possible. Only in very, very critical situations would we ever leave her. Especially against the enemy comp. We can just hug this left wall and keep damage boosting the Pharah and provide a lot of value. So just with the Pharah, with the Pharah, with the Pharah. Here as well. You can heal the Winston a little bit. Now back with Pharah. Need to fall back a lot. Fly to Ana. I don't mind that, but if we just flew to Ana, we might not be in the position where we needed to do that. We definitely can't get that res. There's really been only like one res I think we could have gotten all game, and it's that one on the soldier at the beginning. Stay with Pharah. Yeah, we only leave Pharah if medically necessary. This is easy res, yep. You try and help the Winston. Nope, too hard. Like that, damage boost, go back to Pharah. Yeah, so think about how hard it would have been for him to kill us if we were up here. It's still possible, especially as you climb ranks, but if we were up there, it'd be much harder. Oh, okay. So I was afraid of this. I wasn't going to say anything, but we are very just kind of standing out main right here. Right here, this is a dangerous spot to be in. We're much safer either hugging right here and still doing the same thing we're doing, but right here. Or we could try and be up here and do it and damage boost them this way. And then also our Pharah is coming back, so we should try to avoid pushing it until then, but I would damage boost the soldier from up here until she comes back, and then the second she comes back, I would go back to her, and then I would still try and hug this wall, because the more you hug this wall, the harder it is for the enemies to see you, the harder it is for the turret to hit you, and then Pharah could be like up here-ish while shooting, and you can be all the way here, and they just can't see you. They can't get you. So yeah, that is what I'm thinking here. Very careful, because we take a lot of needless damage there, and we could have even died. So we see the Pharah shots above us. We want to go with her. I don't mind healing, like being a little bit with the soldier here, but it's just so much like all of this could be avoided if we were with the Pharah more. So our Pharah is there. We want to go with her. And go up to her. Yep. This is fine. Damage booster though. Nice. No, just damage boost Pharah. So much value. The splash damage that Pharah provides is very, very high. So we want to try and beat Valkyr. Yes. I like that. Switch to damage boost. Yes. Yeah, this is fine. Damage boost now. Just damage boost your team. They can do that. We could have maybe even saved the soldier, because we would be looking at our team. High charge Zarya is a good damage boost target anytime. That's unfortunate she died. Damage boost Pharah when she's ulting. Just generally, if somebody's ulting, you can damage boost them, and it is a lot of value. We're also in a little bit of a vulnerable position here, but this fight's kind of lost for multiple reasons. And that should be the game, right? Oh, okay, it's just gonna keep doing that. Yeah, we lose. So yeah, I still stand with in the defense round, you definitely played better than in the attack round, and I think it's just because you're underestimating how strong a damage boost Pharah is and how much value you can get from being in the air with that positioning. So it is very, very hard for the enemy team to kill somebody in the air. As you climb, that'll be less and less true. They get better as you get better. But at this elo, it's going to be extra, extra hard for them to kill somebody in the air. Much less harder for them to kill 2 people in the air. So I would do that. The amount of reses you did was honestly fine. There weren't many you could do. Your team was staggered for a bit. So if you're resing somebody when your team is staggered, you just end up staggering them even more. The only one I really would have considered going for is that soldier at the very beginning, because you guys were either going to lose the fight at that point, and the Sigma was sucking in a lot of damage at that point. So with that cooldown, you had to make that decision fast. A lot of the times a fast res will take an enemy team by surprise. It's actually kind of interesting because a fast res takes people by surprise and a late res also takes people by surprise. So I'm kind of feeling it. I'm going to watch one of your other ones. I haven't checked them out yet. Let's watch Shambali.
Now arriving at the Shambali. I'll be right behind you.
Okay, so looking at her composition, so what I always do is I think about healers first. Not necessarily, I mean, if I don't really think about comps, which I do, like the second we lock in, I think about compositions, I would think about it now. So looking at our composition, as the Mercy player, there are 2 people on this team who are really, really good at damage boosting. And also, there's one person on our team who is extra good at healing. Moira can output some of the most heals in the game, if not the most heals in the entire game. So I just think I don't need to look at Reinhardt basically at all. Sometimes I might need to heal the Moira, but if our Moira is playing correctly, which it's bronze, so it's probably not, I generally won't have to look at the Reinhardt, because the Moira should be able to heal him up very, very, very quickly. It's possible you run into a good Moira. It's less likely, but it is still very likely that you can just, especially if you like have higher elo habits, which I like to build now, you can think I don't need to heal the Rein very much. and both of your DPS are very, very good damage boost targets. I would say Ashe is better than Soldier, but if you notice if you are damage boosting the Ashe, and I would give her like 2 or 3 lives of like damage boosting her, and if you don't feel like she's getting a lot of ticks every single time you damage boost her, then I always switch over to the Soldier. Soldier's more consistent damage, but Ashe has more of a one-shot potential if you're damage boosting her. So, and also Dynamite is very, very strong in damage boosting, and Bob is a great ultimate, honestly. Less so against their comp, but still pretty good nonetheless, especially in Bronze. So that's what I would be doing. I would damage boost the Rhine here at the very beginning because his strong fire strike is very good, but I don't mind the... Moira's not the worst to damage boost out the gate. Just her orb does 200 damage max. So damage boost the Rhine right here, and then switch to either Soldier or Ashe. I do like where the Soldier is positioned more, so I like where you are positioned more because of it. So even though I said Ashe is a better target, I do think that you should be here because of that. This is a little scary. I would just stay with the Soldier. The Moira can take care of a lot of ground healing, and now we have once again put us in a position where the enemies can see us, and not only that, we're above the shield from like the Soldier's POV. Maybe not. But where it's possible we were above the shield a second ago, or not that long ago, so we could have taken some free damage, versus if we're on this Soldier, or we're back right here and healing this Soldier, we can just damage boost him and get free value without the enemy seeing us at all. Obviously, we don't know about this Sombra, but that is also another benefit of being with the Soldier, is when he gets hacked here, you can help him. So I would just stay with the Soldier, and then just be behind that pillar. That is honestly where your Ashe should be as well. So this is good that you help him, but I want us to just go back with him and stick with him. So that's really what Mercy kind of is you pick a person and you stay with them until it's medically necessary for you to leave. Damage boost the Rhine right there. And I say that because he's pinned the ball, and Rhine does 250 damage when he gets the pin. He'll do even more if you're right-clicking him when that happened, and I think your beam would have stayed attached even though he went out of range. So we really want to try, when you see Rhine land a pin, just damage boost him if it's on the enemy tank. Or in general, you can just damage boost him. Nice try. Oh, we see her there? Just keep damage boosting someone. No, you just damage boost. Stay with the Ashe. She's gonna try and get him. Okay, now I would leave. She's taking too long. Yeah, now we're losing value up front. So I would try and stick with the Soldier, because his positioning is correct for this map. His Ashe is playing kind of weirdly. I do like helping out the Rhine here. This is okay. Less so that we died. So we put ourselves in a very vulnerable position by being right here. So we have a few options of when we flew over here, we could try and be in this room and then heal the Rhine from right here. Or we could try and be behind this pillar and heal the Rhine while we're right here. And then again, afterwards, I would just try and think about flying to this Soldier and then being either here or here. And honestly, here is a little bit better because if you are here and they start pushing from a direction, you're going to have to cross to start backing up. But if you're over here and they start pushing, you can just keep backing up without them seeing you until you're right here. And then you can go down this way if you wanted. If your team's flying out, if your team is all the way over here already, you could fly to them and then slingshot all the way over here. And if you don't know what slingshot means, you can let me know, but I've seen you do the tech, so I think you kind of know what I mean. Oh shit, this is the wrong person. Okay, so it's unfortunate you died. Let me just think about it one more time. So this is already, we're a bit far. So yes, this, and then we just flew way too far. So we could have stopped our guardian angel right about here. We can just, if we don't have toggle on, you just let go of shift and you'll stop right here. But because we flew way too far. And then it just caught us out in a really vulnerable position. Okay, so our team's lost this fight. We need to regroup. I would just stay back there until you see somebody else, because, especially because there is an enemy Sombra, you're much more vulnerable. I would stay with your Sojourn. She needs help. She should not go in. So now we have a Sojourn instead of an Ashe. you could choose either the Sojourn or the Soldier to damage boost. I would probably prefer the Sojourn, but our Soldier's positioning this game has been a lot better than the other DPS player. Oh, be super careful. Yeah. So when I flew right here, I'd fly to the Soldier and then go up. Use your super jump to go up. Because now we're in a kind of tight room. We could try and fly to Moira to get out, but it's just going to be kind of a rough position. Nice try and dodge, but we've lost this. Get to Moira, damage booster. Beautiful. Sucks that she walked into the mines. We just need to die. Yeah, we shouldn't have ulted. We could have just died. Damage booster right there would have done a lot. Okay, so this Valk kind of turned this around, I'm not gonna lie. But if we damage boosted the Ryan right when he pinned here, right here, you can just switch for a second when he hits it, when he lands it. It does a lot. This Valk does kind of turn this fight around, but I don't know why. It's just bronze for you. This is unfortunate. Oh, you lost the beam on the Ryan for a second. So I think with Toggle you might have still kept it on, so I think you might not be playing with Toggle Beam. I still don't feel like you cancel your Guardian Angels very often, so I would definitely consider turning that off, just so you feel like you have more control of your mobility. This is fine, keep damage boosting him, heal him here, nice. And then, yeah, nice. Damage boost Sojourn, because she has a heart charge shot. That was good tech. So our Moira's not back, so we really need to be focused on... We just need to be aware of our Rhine. And we're just in a very vulnerable position again, just standing kind of out main. So what we can do is we can just hug this pillar, and then connect the beam, and then kind of hide again, and then like we can just kind of peek and then go back. So that way our beam never really disconnects. And they can't see us as much because we're not just standing main. The goal, especially at this elo, is you want the enemy team to forget that you exist. So you do that by staying out of sight. This Sombra is going to make it a lot harder for you. Nice. Luckily your team turned around for you as well. And then, yes, damage boost, damage boost, damage boost. Very nice. It's going to be hard to see you. I like using the payload for cover a little bit. Now we know there are mines all around us. Yeah, it's just a rough one. I'm trying to think. We could have maybe tried to go forward. But honestly, our Moira just needed to heal us there. There's not too much we could have done. I went a little bit too far. Okay. So our Moira needs to get out. And we have a Pharah now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So, now that we have a Pharah of anyone is my #1 priority. Even if our healing comp is Mercy Zen, my default is still the Pharah. She is the #1 priority DPS to ever boost as Mercy. Okay? So default mode, no matter what the other DPS is, I don't care if it's Ashe, I don't care if it's Cass, I don't care if it's Echo, Pharah is my #1. We didn't have to Valk there. And I think that's just kind of looking at the kill feed. I love damage boosting the Soldier here. That's probably the only time I'd really try and leave Pharah is if we have an ult, but you're not really damage boosting him, you're just pocketing him. But once he's about right here health-wise, I'd switch your damage boost. Because you can switch back to healing if he takes more damage. Oh, be very... Oh, okay, that's scary. So... Standing right here... See that Kiriko? You need to hide. She can 2-tap you. She can just hit you 2 times in the head with a kunai, and it's gonna be super easy while you're standing still, and you're dead. So the second you see that Kiri, we need to not be right there anymore. We need to be right here when you see that carry. You can damage boost the Pharah still. And the other thing is if we are standing still, especially up here, it's very easy for the Sombra to kill us. So we kind of need to be moving all the time the best we can. So we could be right here and damage boosting the Pharah. And then that way if we see the Sombra, we can play around this pillar a little bit and try to avoid getting hit by the enemies as well. But standing up there, you will get killed at higher elos. The second you see that Kiriko, you would have died. Yeah. So a Valk right here would have been massive. This is all fine. Our Rhine is super low, so you want to help him. But the Moira's helping him now, so we want to go back to Pharah. Go back to Pharah. Okay. We need to rotate, because this is a big minefield. We can shoot the mines. Although, honestly, our team's dead, so we need to die as well. Yeah.
Making a full recovery. You call it?
So, as a Mercy player, we have a lot more freedom to look and be aware of the kill feed, because we can kind of connect the beam and then forget about it. We need to be damage boosting here. Yeah, damage boosting here as well. You were better at damage boosting in the other game than this one. Damage boost to Pharah ult, always damage boost it. Very, very rarely will I heal Pharah in her ult. If she's chosen to ult, she's chosen to die. So you just try and help her, take somebody with her. And then if you damage boost her while she's ulting and she does actually kill everyone, then you can just res her after. Okay.
5, 4.
Did he wave back? I'll never know. So this is a little bit worse. This is a worse Mercy comp for us. We have Junkrat, Sombra. So in terms of damage boosting, Junkrat generally, although honestly, I might also pick the Rhine. Damage boosting the Rhine in this situation won't be the worst thing. It's just very inconsistent damage, especially Junk against ball. He's much less likely to actually hit the ball. This is fine. Healing there. We need to help Moira first. Nice. That's good target priority because I'm going to compliment you a lot here, so just take this. You healed the Junk past half. We see the Moira is in danger. And then we see that both of these people are critical and you make the correct call on which one to heal. So very good job. Need to go back to Junk. So Mercy really is a pocket healer, and that's what I mean kind of by default mode, is you have to identify the correct person you're going to pocket, which will take time, and as you kind of realize which people are better than other people and why, you'll get a lot better at it. Very good peel for the Sombra there, and now we just need to go back to damage boosting, preferably the Junkrat. Nice. See? He died because of you. So, like, you'll start getting a feeling for damage boosting Azaria when she's high charge and how much value damage boosting an Ashe or a Cass or a Soldier or Pharah or an Echo can get versus damage boosting somebody like a Tracer who's going to put you in a bad position a lot of the time, or a Junkrat who might not hit all his shots, or a Hanzo who might not be hitting his shots. Like, you can get a lot of damage out of damage boosting Reaper, but if you're damage boosting him when he's really far from targets, he's not going to get a lot of value versus if he's right next to somebody and in their face. And so, as you kind of like think about who should I be damage boosting here, it'll just start coming innately to you. Like, oh, this person is better than this person. Like, Sombra is not a bad damage boost target, but there are just like qualifications for why she's not a bad damage boost target. So you can do it if she's hacked somebody, if she's not going to TP out and leave you alone, like if she's going to do this. So I hope that makes sense. It's like not necessarily like, oh, I have Sombra, I should never touch her or help her or damage boost her. It's no, she's a pretty good target. She can do a lot of damage, especially if her enemy is hacked. It's just don't do it if it's going to put you in a bad position. We need a Valk. Yeah, this is really late. You could die still. This is a good pick. We can res the Rhine. Pick the Rhine, res him. It's possible we get hacked, but if we did it fast, if we made that decision fast, we could have probably gotten away with it, especially in Valkyrie. Not this fight is lost, so it's kind of like if you do or you don't. Now we have a Bastion instead of a Sombra. Bastion, very, very good damage boost target, especially when he's in wheels like this. We can get this res. No, we can't. Unfortunate. Whole team's dead. Yeah. The amount of damage you take from EMP and Sigma is like 90% of your health, so it's just... Yeah, you're just screwed. It's literally 90% of your health. I healed me. So I want us to be kind of playing up, especially against a Reaper. It's much harder for them to hit you in the air. And positioning wise, your team's winning, which is nice, but I kind of want us to be like playing on this platform and healing and May, and then we can walk up here and we could be damage using here and using this for cover. We just kind of want to identify where the best spots are. We want to be a little bit closer to our team because they do have a Sombra and we know they don't have EMP, so we can play a little bit closer, but in general, like even if you just play right here and just peek and go back here, and then if the Sombra hacks you, you just have to kind of survive for a second, which you could dance around here, and then you could fly to your team. So just try and think about not necessarily... You do want to play main with your team a lot of the times, but you want to play off just a little bit, so that way the enemy can't see you. Out of sight, out of mind. So... Our comp has once again changed. I noticed that Nutball in particular loves switching. The damage boost at far range is May, because Icicle is very strong, especially damage boosted. I think it would do like, what, an extra 50 damage if you're damage boosting May, so it could, 30% increase? Yeah. So you want to damage boost a May. Because her right clicks would be very, very strong. And then at very, very close range, I would damage boost Reaper, or even still May. May is probably my default for most of the time, but honestly, if they get very, very close, Rhine is a good damage boost target, and Reaper is a very good target for very close range. Don't underestimate how strong May is, though. She's still very good. Good job helping the Moira. That's the problem with standing still, because this Moira was standing still. And it's just very easy for the Sombra to show up out of nowhere, land a bunch of headshots, and then force out cooldowns and abilities, like that forced out Wraith. Versus if the Moira was moving around the cart, she might have like been harder to heal, or harder to hit, and just things like that. This is... so the second we get hacked, we were standing right here when we get hacked. What I would do is I would start trying to get over this way, because if we get this way, she can't hit us anymore. So just trying to play natural cover a little bit more. I do like flying into the team and then using the payload as cover, but we need to get healing from our Moira. Very nice, trying to get your passive off of your May. Very good. Okay, Lord Fuzzy Buns got your Reaper. Very nice. Wall off, just May. May, May, May. Help your May. Damage boost your May. She will do a lot more damage than you are. Okay, it's unfortunate. Our Moira did not need to ult. But when Moira ults, I like damage boosting her. It does a lot more damage than people think. I like pushing cart, but be wary of standing still, especially against a Sombra player. And we won the game. Very good. So I want to see more super jump tech out of you. It's not necessarily as much on this one, because there's less good high grounds on this map, in my opinion. But I think that you don't utilize this enough in general. I want to see you pocketing your Pharas more, a lot more. And other than that, and then utilizing natural cover. So those are the things. Your beam targets are generally pretty good, except for if you have Afara on your team, you kind of leave her out to dry a little bit. But I want you hard pocketing Afara. And honestly, that is the ideal Mercy playstyle, is picking somebody, hard pocketing them, and then helping the rest of the team if your other healer can't do it. This is a different story, and you'll have to help your team a lot more if you have, let's say, a Lucio or a Zen on your team. But even then, Mercy Zen is very good because of how much damage you guys can output with damage boost and Discord Orb. You can just kill the enemy team really fast and then heal up afterwards. But let's say you have like a Mercy Brig on your team, like Mercy Brig, Mercy Lucio, it's going to be very, very hard for you to hard pocket. But it's much easier when you have like Ana, Baptiste, Moira. Even, I guess, I'm trying to think about it, like Lifeweaver, it's still not too hard. He outputs more healing than people really think, and he's able to provide extra uptime by pulling people out of fights to where they can take less damage than heal them more. Kiriko provides a lot of healing as well. So it's just really, if you have Brig or Lucio on your team, that's when you're going to have to heal your tank a lot more. Yeah, I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, let me know. And like, if you want to send me another video in, let's say, like a week, I'll be glad to try and help you. So, bye.